Welcome everyone to another My Time episode. I'm your host, Sunny Mai, and today we have a really special guest, our very first office staff, Ruben Aguilar. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Sonny.
Awesome,
I appreciate
man.
it, man.
So you are our onboarding specialist and office manager.
Yeah,
I really want to bring you on so I can get your kind of like a different perspective, right? Than a real estate agent.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of stuff that goes around the office. So I really want to pick your brain and see what agents are doing right, doing wrong, what they should focus more on, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
But first, who's Ruben Aguilar?
Who's Ruben, man? I mean, honestly, I'm a kid, dude, on the inside. Dude, a long time ago, it's funny. I tell some people that, like, when I was like 16, 17, I remember kind of thinking, like, I'm just like a goofy kid, and I was like, I don't want to let this go. I don't want to be like a boring adult. I don't want to be like an asshole. I don't want to be a jerk. I don't want to be the kind of person that's like, get off my lawn. Like, I don't want to do that. So I was like, I'm going to keep that inner child and just kind of be that. So, like, that's why I'm always kind of messing around, just kind of being goofy, like, the Ruby stuff, like, that's, like, as far back as I can remember, even to, like, first grade, I think I did a presentation in school, and I wore a wig, and so a couple of friends of ours, we wore wigs, and so we were, like, we were cross-dressing, basically, and it was just a funny thing at the time, and so it's just like that's just me, not a cross-dresser, but, like, but just, like, I just like to be me, whatever's funny, I'm always looking for a laugh, and other than that, like, who else am I? I just love to have fun, dude. I love to be chill. I love to just be in peace. I love the outdoors. I like to learn new things. So that's why I think my position here is great, because I get the freedom to learn new things.
And I think you, at your previous job, you had some managerial positions as well, right? I think you worked at Starbucks. Was that right before here?
Yeah. So I worked, actually right before this, I worked at Wells Fargo.
Okay.
Before that, I had like a VR job where we did like virtual reality experiences.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, so I had a management job there. I was a trainer for all the newbies.
Okay.
I wanted to move up in management then, but we were still kind of a smaller company. I did work at Starbucks. I got let go from Starbucks before I could go into management, but I was on that track.
Okay.
I worked at McDonald's. I was a guest service department manager there. So, yeah, I mean, most of my jobs, I've pretty much been, like, on the road to be in management.
That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you say those experiences help you a lot here? I mean, what's the difference between, I guess, managing baristas and real estate agents?
Dude, honestly, the huge differences, bro, because, like, here it's like you're your own business owner, so it's like you guys can do so many things. It's just infinite. Versus a barista, it's like you're making the damn latte. There's one way to make it. You know what I mean? So it's like at that point, there's just getting your reps in. Yeah. But in a lot of ways, it's kind of similar, because it's like, you're making a latte and you just got to learn the core concept, and then you can make anything in a barista as a barista. So I guess like the same thing here. You learn the core stuff, how to show a home, how to talk to someone, how to sell. And then you could do anything. So I guess it's the same.
Kind of put your own flavor to it, but you gotta set like a good foundation and a base, right?
Exactly. I think another big difference is that with baristas, you're probably dealing with kids, people who are younger. Yeah. This is just like a in between job. I mean, the Starbucks I worked at was at Downtown Disney, that really big one.
In front of World of Disney, right?
Right in front of World of Disney.
My girl loves World of Disney, bro. Every time we go downtown, I go to Downtown Disney for the beignets, but she goes to Downtown Disney. Yes, she goes to Downtown Disney for World of Disney, bro. And I'll probably spend like an hour in that damn store, dog.
Dude, those beignets are fire. You know what's funny? When I worked at my VR job, the VR job was right next to Jazz Kitchen. So at night, when we would close and they would close, they would bring over leftover beignets for us, like sacks of them, dude. It was so good.
Wow. Okay.
It was fire. But yeah, dude. So that big one, when I worked there, was like the difference is, they're kind of younger, or they're just like whatever about the job. Versus here, it's like you guys are building your brand. You guys are building a business. You guys got to get out there to bring in business. Versus at Starbucks, it's a big brand, so we didn't have to do any of that stuff.
Sure.
So,
and I always like to ask, how did you, hear about Power? How did you end up with Power? What's the story with that?
So, COVID started, right? So in 2020 and 2021, I lost my job at Downtown Disney. So I was working 2 jobs at the time. I was working my VR job and at Wells Fargo. It was now it's a soccer store. It's called like Pele. Or something like that.
Oh, in Downtown Disney as well? The VR stuff is in Downtown?
It was in Downtown Disney,
Gotcha.
It was actually a really cool job. You should check it out. It's called The Void. It's pretty cool. It's like you'd put on the headset and a haptic vest, and you can actually walk around, pick things up. It was Star Wars, so you could pick up a blaster and shoot. It was cool. But we were right there. So and I worked at the bank at Wells Fargo. So when COVID happened, that VR job, let me think about it. You had to put on a headset. Other people would wear it throughout the day.
Oh, that was a no-go back then, right?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Huge no-go.
Dude, seriously. Yeah, seriously no-go. It was in closed spaces. Like, it was totally, like, just not good. Mm-hmm. So, I lost my job there. And so I was on unemployment at the time, and unemployment was fantastic.
Oh, but unemployment was balling back then for a lot of people, right?
Dude, I was just stacking cash. It was great.
Yeah.
But but I stayed working at Wells Fargo because I was part-time, so I still qualified for unemployment. And it was COVID. We were essential employees, so
as you cough.
Yeah, as I cough. And it's funny. Just ironically about that, like whenever I hear people cough, I'm always like COVID.
Corona.
So yeah, COVID. So it's like now I'm the butt of the joke there. But so I was working at Wells Fargo, and one thing I heard was that COVID was going to end at the end of 2021, and we saw how that happened. That didn't happen. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, if COVID's going to end at the end of 2021, I got to look for a full-time job before the job market saturated. So around like September, I started looking for jobs on Indeed, and I saw a transaction coordinator listing. So I applied to it, and it's actually a really funny story because I applied. I got contacted by the broker at the time. His name was Edgar. It was Jose's cousin, and he was like, "Yeah, come in for an interview." So I went in, and it was our office in Santa Ana. And when I was walking in, there was no one in the front, like in the front area. So I kind of like rang doorbell. There was someone walking in behind me. And when I walked in, the person was like, "Oh, can I help you?" I turned, it was Montse.
Oh,
and
wow.
But what's funny about it is that I had met Montse and Maria, our TCs, at another job I had at Downtown Disney at Pandora Jewelry.
No way.
So I met them there at Pandora Jewelry.
Oh, they worked there as with you or something like that?
We all worked together there.
Oh, wow.
So Montse at Pandora was like the back person. She did all the inventory stock, and Maria was my boss. Mm-hmm. Maria was their lead. So I was just a salesman. I was terrible, by the way. And so I met them there. So when I walked into the office, and at that point it had probably been like a year and a half that when I wasn't working there. So I walked in the office, it was Monte, and I was like, "What the hell?" She was like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" I was like, "I'm here for an interview." She was like, "Yeah, it was such a small world." And I was like, "I'm here for an interview." She was like, "You're interviewing my boyfriend, which is Jeff." And so I interviewed with Jeff and our broker at the time, and I got hired. I had no experience. They wanted someone with experience, but I got hired in as a TC, and that's just kind of where I started.
How long ago was that now? Couple years,
this
right?
This was in
2021. You said, right? Okay,
yeah.
So 3 years.
In October of 2021, yeah. So
you've been with the company for a minute now, huh?
Since before we were Power.
Opened this office and.
Yeah, since before Power, when we were at Remax, Jose, Jeff, they were just team leads.
Yeah.
So it was I've been with them.
Yeah. So you started as a like an office manager kind of role, right?
No. I started as a TC.
Oh, as a TC. I'm sorry, transaction coordinator. You said that for a job.
Yeah.
Did you know anything about that when you applied?
No, I had zero experience. I didn't know anything about real estate, dude. Nothing. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I got into real estate is because I wanted to learn about it. Like I just wanted to learn like how to own rental real estate. Like that was it. I was like, how do I buy a rental real estate property? And now look what I do here.
Yep.
But that's how I heard about it. Just on Indeed, I was looking for a job, and Jeff pretty much is the one that hired me.
That's so crazy, man. Like how saying like yes to new opportunities, the path that it can take you on and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, I was so nervous. It was crazy because going from Wells Fargo, I had it all. I had the 401k, had insurance, had benefits. I had a fast track. Well, not fast track, but I was on a track to promoting there. So I had told literally every job I've told, like, I want to move up here. I don't want to just do whatever you're hiring me to do. Mm-hmm. So I was moving up there at Wells Fargo and going over into Remax as a TC. I had nothing, no benefits. I had no insurance, nothing, no 401k, nothing. And so I was like, damn, like, during COVID, am I going to go to a place with no health insurance? So it really was like a risk to take, and I'm glad I did it, dude.
That's awesome, man. I'm so happy for you, bro.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So how did that transition from transaction coordinator to office manager came about?
Yeah, so we ended up leaving Remax, and we started this office. I was still doing TC with Daniela. We probably did that for like a year here, and honestly, like, it's just necessity, dude. Like, it was just at the time, Jeff had just started coming in, so it was Jeff, Jose, that was it. Like, really running the office, and then kind of Matt, but not really. So it was just them two, and we needed help. We had new agents coming in, they needed help. Jeff and Jose are just super busy.
Yeah.
So it was like, we need someone who can sit up there and answer questions. Like that was the first thing. It was like
Sure.
someone who knows real estate, who can answer those questions, who can guide them on the process, like just documents, and also like when you get into escrow, what to do with a TC. So it was like, honestly, like you like to talk to people, like me. They were like, you like to talk to people, like you know the process,
Exactly,
you know what's up,
right?
like you want to come up front. And so Jeff was like, I'm pretty much like poaching you for the office. And so I was like, oh, I don't know. I thought about it with Kim. Me and Jeff, we negotiated, and yeah, we just made it happen. So it was like out of just necessity. We needed someone to just help agents.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I think when I first came here, like my very like early days with Power, I think it was you and Daniela were like the full-time TCs.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like doing transactions then yet, so I wasn't really.
You didn't get to see my service, dude.
Yeah, but my first TC here with the company is your girlfriend Kim.
Yeah,
we love Kim.
Yeah.
I fucking love Kim, dude. And she's doing her photography business now, which is great for her. We miss you, Kim. I miss you a lot. No, but I love Monse too right now. So can't throw shit there. But yeah, just tell me a little bit about your day-to-day as like an office manager, and now to like an onboarding specialist.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously my position here has just kind of evolved over time. So like, when I first started, I was like, what do I do? So it was just kind of like help around the office, answer questions, whatever. But then it's like, all right, like let's actually, we started really getting the office under control. And I was like, where do we want to go with the office? So it's like, we're trying to get to something that's like a full service, like office where it's like someone comes in, you plug in and you get trained. Once you're experienced, and we can provide you different services, we can provide you automated stuff. So, and the reason I say that is because my day-to-day is based off of where we're going in the office. So like the listing stuff, when we got the Zillow Sellers program, we had to build out a seller's process, a listing process. So we were like, all right, cool, let's build it out. And so, I mean, my role is just office manager, but like I do everything, dude.
Sure.
Like, I do a lot of back end, like automation building, like I'm working with the design center to design things for us, make sure that buttons work, make sure that leads come in. I'm parsing emails, like. There's a lot of like back end stuff that I do. So the office manager and onboarding stuff, just like the front end things. Yeah. So my day to day is, I come in the morning and I work on my business. So I work on like setting up my schedule. I work on important stuff that needs to get taken care of.
Your classes,
I delegate. I do my classes. I do the training, any onboardings. I answer questions. I help with role play. Just kind of set up the coffee. Yeah. And then
shout out Ruby.
Ruby, mug dictator. And in the afternoon, I work in it. So in the afternoons, like it's just when you see me, I'm just like on my computer. Yep. That's when we're actually like building stuff. We're actually making it. We're doing the automations. Yeah. But besides that, dude, like the day-to-day work for me here is actually really challenging because it's like a lot of mental stuff and I'm kind of everywhere. Yeah. I mean, you see me like talking to people, training, and then all the stuff that the office is doing, building that. And so like it gets really mentally exhausting. Yeah. So like my morning routine is super important to me because if I didn't have my morning routine, I wouldn't be like ready to come in the morning. Yeah. So like it really does feel like I'm like about to play a basketball game. I gotta like practice. Like I gotta get myself in the mood in the morning and then come in and just fucking crush it.
I love that, man. And I can attest to something you said earlier too, how a lot of things you guys build out here is plug and play for agents, right? Yeah. So I mean, I love that we have all these folders and brochures ready that we can just boom boom have a showing package ready just like that, right? Yeah. And that's just one of the many things that you guys provide for us here. So super thankful for that. Thank you so much, Ruben.
We try, man. You're welcome. But aside from that, dude, like other things I do, like it's funny. A lot of the stuff that I do, honestly, is like really menial stuff, and not in a bad way, but like people just be forgetting their passwords.
Man.
That's like most of the messages I get. Hey, I can't log into this. Hey, I lost access to that. Like, hey, what is my login for this? And I'm just like,
oh, that's funny. So you've onboarded now quite a few agents to Power Real Estate Group.
Almost everybody that's here now.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
What do you think is like the common thread of what do people tend to like struggle the most in? And are there And what would you say are some things they can do to become like more successful through the onboarding process?
So I think the most common struggle that people have is they're not buying in. Like they don't throw themselves in. So and it's kind of hard. Like you can't really like force people to buy into something they don't want to. So I think it's just the buy-in. Like people come in with the wrong expectations. I think they come in with the expectation that it's like, cool, I'm gonna get a lead, I'm I'm gonna go show it. I'll sell the home, and then I make a ton of money, and then it's fantastic, and then I can work whenever I want and not work whenever I want, you know. And that expectation is actually kind of bad because, like, I mean, you know, like, you guys are really never not working. You know, you guys are always on the phones. You guys are always, like, putting together a deal. It's like, if a deal is going to get put together at midnight on a Sunday, like, you'll take it. You'll be like, you know, if this is what I got to do to make this deal happen, you'll do it. So it's like, people don't understand that when they come in for the first time. So it's like, they have the wrong expectations and they don't dive into it. So once they start seeing what it actually takes, the amount of work and effort that it takes, and they're not bought in, people just kind of shrink away.
Yeah, because they can drown in all, like, the stuff that's, like, you know, that you're, like, throwing at them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with scrimmage. So I just started a new scrimmage class this week, and I can see, like, how they're already like,
overwhelmed
damn.
a little bit.
Yeah, and so I try my best to make it as, like, soft and, like, hey, just focus on what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Everything else will come.
Dude, it's funny. I overheard a conversation you have with an older gentleman. I think he's onboarding with us or something like that. And one of the expectations we have for the office is 15,000 conversations minimum, right? And he's like, oh, that's a lot. And I'm just saying across the table, I'm like, bro, like I get like 25, 30 a week.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So. I literally think about you, Calvin, George. Like, you guys are knocking that out. You guys are making a competition out of it. Like, who can finish faster, more.
Exactly.
Like, isn't that crazy?
I don't think it's that overwhelming, bro.
It isn't.
Break it down like that.
But, like, you guys are bought in. You guys understand. You guys were here when we brought it up. So it's like, you know, it's funny. Like, you see people come in, they have the wrong expectations, or they didn't have any expectations of themselves before. So, like, when they come in and they see this is really what it takes to produce consistently, it, like, people kind of get nervous about that.
For sure. So, kind of a follow-up to that, what common characteristic traits do you think that some of these more successful agents have to, you know, ensure that they have a smooth onboarding process, you know, besides, like, the hard working and all that stuff?
I think like a characteristic, I think it's probably like how well you follow instructions.
Oh, yeah,
like,
right?
Like, that's it. Like, that's it. Like, if you can follow instructions, follow a direction, and then execute it, like, that's it. Like, it really isn't that hard. And it's insane because, like honestly, like, not to reduce you down to just that, but, like, you're great at following directions. Like, if it's like, hey, Sonny, here's a new process. This is how you do it. Step 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to be like, all right, cool. And you'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's like, that's why you are successful. Because it's like,
guys, it's already built out for you. You just got to do it.
It really is. And it's like, it's just that. It's like this, we try to make it as simple as possible for everyone. And it's like, cool, buy in and just do it.
Just literally
do it. Like, there isn't, like, it's not rocket science. People, if they want to start freestyling, cool, go for it. But if people want to come in and plug in, like, we can get somebody up to being consistent.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's funny, like, I see Isaac coming in, and Isaac is a perfect example. Like, Isaac came in not knowing, he was super scared to do his first calls, and when he finished scrimmage, he didn't do his calls, and he sat next to Jerry, and Jerry asked him, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, are you not calling? And he was like, no. He said, what do you do all day? He's like, I'm just scrolling. But Isaac is really great at following directions.
Yes.
That's his best quality. And it's like, not to reduce Isaac down to just that, but it's like Isaac has been consistent because he gets feedback from Jerry, from Jeff. Yeah. And he's like, okay. They tell him, do this instead. Okay. And he does it. And it works.
Quick shout out to Isaac, too. Because next week is going to be his 1 year with Power. And we're going to do a pod episode.
Dude, that's awesome. So, that's awesome, man.
Big shout out to Isaac,
Shout out to Isaac.
So a lot of these agents now, when they go through the onboarding program, I see that they're getting escorts now, too.
Yeah.
Right? Just like going through the onboarding program compared to, you know, I mean, like for me, I wasn't blessed with the onboarding program when I first joined. I think it took me about maybe like 5 to 6 months really to get my first escrow. Compared to some of these guys now, they sign up on Monday, they might get an escrow in like a week or two, right? Just going through the onboarding program.
Dude, yeah, you know, it's crazy because the class I have right now, a couple of them are already talking to lenders, trying to, like, they have some people, they have some people they want to send over a referral to. And so, like, that blows my mind. But the thing is that, like, obviously now we've refined it down to, like, we know. It's like, hey, guys, like, we're going to take you through a bunch of stuff, but just hold on to me and just do it. Like, now we understand, like, it just comes down to that simple, and they're doing it.
I guess the common theme here is that there's a lot of structure with the stuff that we do here. Because a lot of times, I think in real estate, there really is no structure, even within, like, an office and a brokerage. And I mean, I find that really surprising too. When I first went out and interviewed with all these different brokers and stuff, I'm like, yeah, it's cool. And then like some of them, like before I even met them, they even like sent me the contract to sign before I even met them. I'm like I'm not gonna sign up on this, bro. I don't even know, like haven't met you or anything like that, you know?
Dude, yeah, and you know it's interesting because I've never not been with Power technically, right? Even when we were Remax. You know, I've never been in an office that's not like this, so I don't know. Like I've never seen it, but the more I've been like exposed to other offices, like even at like FubCon, seeing how other people do their stuff, like it really is like just the standards. You know, like some people don't have the time and patience to set up that structure, and you know even big corporations like when we were with EXP, like. When I was doing TC for EXP, I was always in their back end, always talking to their specialists and their reps and whatever. And like, the standards on the front is cool. You go to their websites, you go to their idea, it's all great. But like a lot of back end processes are broken, you know. And even in big companies that you think like, oh, they've got it all figured out. Like big companies sometimes are even messed up with their back end process. So it's like the structure, like you mentioned, and also just the attention to detail. Like Jeff is doing 5 hours of classes a day, dude. Like that's insane. But like everyone that's coming out of that is coming out better. You know, you guys started doing his classes. You guys were like the first group to do it. And it's like, look at you guys, you know? And so it's like, it's just what's crazy to me is like just pay attention to the details and create a structure and follow it. Like, you know, like it's crazy, man.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I guess a follow-up question to that is, what do you kind of envision this onboarding program going down the road?
I don't know, man. I mean, I've already gotten it to be extremely simple. You know,
it's like how can I make it even more simple?
I don't know. I mean, it's I guess the way the way we see it as an office is like. Not just being a two office, but being like a more...
You're talking about Anaheim and Riverside, right?
Yeah, instead of just being two offices, being more like global. So, honestly, at this point, I feel like we should make our own brokerage, you know? But that's too difficult. But in my head, it's like we're pretty much set up like our own brokerage. You know what I mean? So it's like I see the onboarding process for real, and I honestly believe my onboarding process is better and smoother, right? And so I see it as like, cool, you come in, you sign up with Power, and here's everything. You're a new agent, cool, here's your path, right? You sign up for scrimmage, here's your schedule. Cool, as you do scrimmage, here's a dashboard where you can see your homework, your progress, what you need. And then after that, you're on Zillow. Cool, now that you're on Zillow, here's another dashboard. Here's your accountability stuff. Here's where you can track your metrics. Here's where you can see new things that we're rolling out. Perfect. Now that you're set up, where do you want to go? Do you want to get onto sellers? Do you want to do probates? Do you want to represent military personnel, you know, on relocating?
And speaking that you built that good base and foundation already, right?
Exactly.
What we talked about earlier, now, you know, you put your own flavor on it.
Now we can start to have fun, dude. So, like, I envision it as, like, having a website, like, a whole program where it's all just built in there. And people, like I said, they just sign up, they plug in, and it's like, cool, just follow this path. It's all right here. It's proven, you know. It's like, you are a perfect example of that. It's like, look at these guys. Like, they're doing it. You guys are here consistently.
Speaking of that, I will say that one biggest tip I will have for any agents looking to join, make sure to do onboarding in person if you can.
Oh, yeah.
I think that helps a lot, would you say?
Dude, yeah, oh, hell yeah. And it's crazy that you give that tip because you didn't do onboarding with me or scrimmage. But it's crazy you say that because, like, I developed the virtual onboarding because people can't come
Of course,
in.
There's, like, many reasons.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, people live far, whatever. But... I'll be completely honest with you. There's so much failure. Like there's so much turnover. The amount of the agents that you see in the office that are new that actually come in, maybe like 2 or 3 here and there. But to get 2 or 3 into the office that are actually working, we probably recruited like 20 people. And the other 20 people, they're just slow. They're not really completing it.
Sure.
So it's like the people who come into onboarding are way more likely to succeed to actually show up, treat this like a job. Like that's the biggest thing.
I like that you guys have that, so it's like you can see like who's gonna be able to make it in a way, right? And then so where we should invest, we can invest more time in them and throw them all these different resources if we see that they're invested in us as well, right?
As shitty as it sounds, and sorry if you don't allow cussing.
I do.
As shitty as it sounds, dude, like all of this stuff, like it's there to help people.
Yeah.
But it inadvertently became like a filter. So it's like, we set up a 4-week class. If someone's hungry to learn and they're actually like, hey, I chose, because everyone tells us they chose us for the same reason. I chose you guys because of the resources and the support and the leads. It's like, great. Here they are. Here's the support resources so you can get the leads. And people are like, oh.
Yeah, we got to be able to trust you.
Yeah,
first, right?
It's like if you're actually taking advantage of the stuff we're giving you, it's like I'm not just going to give you our leads before we know you can write an offer. So it inadvertently became a filter. So if like people can't pass scrimmage, it's like I don't know if you can make it with the team because you see our standards, our expectations. Like we're not like, okay, cool, no worries, you're chilling. You didn't make any money. It's like, no, you didn't make any money. Let's make you money.
Yeah.
Like let's make goals.
Like where are in your metrics are they lagging, right? So we can increase it.
Yeah. You guys have your wildly important goals. I know Jeff sits down with you guys. You guys talk about personal lives, your own personal goals, like that deep. It's like if you're not making money, it's not like you didn't make money, Sonny. Sucks for you. It's like no, you didn't make money. Like that's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad because you're not making money. Office doesn't make money. No one makes money.
Exactly.
If you don't make money, like let's make you money. So it's like it's not a filter to be like let's just get all the bad ones out. It's like no, like we want you here to produce. We want you here to succeed, to elevate the office.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Ruben. I know you got a marketing class here in a little bit.
Yeah.
I guess I just want to end with what's next for Ruben? What do you envision yourself forward?
I want to learn how to fly airplanes, dude.
Yeah?
I want to learn how to fly airplanes.
That's funny you said that because I think my dad is trying to do that as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, hook me up with your dad, dude. But no, I want to learn how to fly airplanes. I want to learn how to fly helicopters. I was actually talking about this with Patrick this morning. At the gym. We were at the gym. I told him, I was like, I want to fly helicopters maybe for like the city or like the police department. Like I always think about like, a highway chase. And I'm there like in the chopper, like following them or, something like that.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah. When I get my pilot's license, I'm going to say that.
There you go.
I want to learn how to fly like Cessnas, maybe even like private airplanes, jets. Like a dream is like an airline pilot, but like that's like, I've seen the road. It's expensive. It's long.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
you need a lot of hours, right?
Yeah, you need like 10,000 hours, something like that. But it's expensive too. I've talked to some people. Like the classes are expensive. So I want to learn how to fly airplanes, bro. That's my
awesome.
next thing. Yeah.
Well, maybe you can fly me out to some showings in the future, bro.
Dude, imagine landing on luxury properties in a helicopter. It's
the property comes with like a landing strip, bro.
Dude,
so we'll just land on the property.
Dude, seriously, like, hey, no one's not gonna want to work with you, dude. You fucking come out of a chopper, it's gonna be sick.
That's fun.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much, Ruben. We definitely should do this again, though, in the future.
Appreciate
all right?
you, Sonny.
Thank you so much.